Oops. Hold on. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Today I am joined by beautiful Mason Packer, all the way from America, I believe. You're in America at the moment.
Los Angeles.
Awesome. Mason, thank you so much for joining me. Please tell our listeners who you are and what you do.
My name is Mason Cade Packer. I'm from the Kapiti community. I grew up in Kapiti. I'm a filmmaker, director, producer, writer, editor, and I work out of Los Angeles as a freelance filmmaker. But my background has been in film for 10 plus years, and I've lived all over New Zealand and all over the United States as well.
Wow, incredible. So am I talking to like a Hollywood star, basically, in the making?
Not yet. Maybe in the making. 10 years from now, I would love to be recognized for my work. I don't know about stardom, but yeah, hopefully one day I've got enough people watching my work that it can mean something.
Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about what sort of films do you make? What's your genre, so to speak?
I'm a little too early in my career to have a genre, but I've been exploring it over the last couple of years. I've gone through 2 film schools, one in New Zealand and one here in Chicago. And throughout that time has kind of been an experimental period for me to find the kind of films that I want to make and also the kind of films that I enjoy watching. I think that it's pushing towards things that are a little bit more surreal, which is kind of thrillers, horrors, even dramas to an extent. I'm not a comedy guy. I know that most of New Zealand film, at least internationally, is known for our comedies. But for me, it's about looking at the kind of more human side of things.
Are you going to be the next Hitchcock?
Ooh. Probably not. That's a high bar. But I would love to be the next big New Zealand director and at least put our country on the map internationally and let people know that, we have a pretty high percentage of filmmakers coming out in New Zealand who are doing really well internationally. For our population being so small, it's incredible. So to be able to help that and continue that and support the younger generations, which I'm still part of, but eventually would be my dream.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the new movie that you're making right now, that apparently you got some funding for it. So talk us through that.
That's right. And thanks to you as well, because I've reached out to members of the Kapiti community over the past kind of 4 or 5 months looking for help funding this new film that I'm bringing back to Kapiti, which is a long film. It's a long short film. It's a 30 to 40 minute short thriller set in Kapiti in the middle of winter. Kind of a gruesome little thriller, if I'm being honest, about something about the community having to deal with a tragedy, and it centers around around a high school principal, having to protect his students from some kind of threat. And it's something that kind of pays homage to all the years that I spent walking to school in Kapiti in the rain, feeling just how cinematic our little town can be in the right spotlight. And the story's got some lighthearted elements to it. It's got some, laughs, I think, and some wonderful people attached to it. It's not this horrible, scary thing, but I think it's a thrilling ride. And like any good, roller coaster as a film should be, it should, evoke a little bit of fear and a little bit of laughter and leave you thinking at the end.
I was about to volunteer myself for any of the roles you've got available. Now I'm a bit scared.
I don't think you'd like that. We'll leave that to the professionals who can deal with the trauma.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. So when is that going to start? How long do you think it will take? When are we going to actually view it on our screens?
Yeah, so we've achieved most of our funding through the Kapiti community as well as an investor over here in the United States, which has given us the green light to be able to go ahead and collect the funds that we have so amazingly raised from the community. Unfortunately, though, it's a positive for us, but we won't be shooting until next July. So we need to wait until winter rolls around. We need that high chance of rain and for the clouds to be all over Kapiti. So we're going to wait till then, which gives us a lot of time to find the crew and find the cast and run our auditions and prep everything, because this is a major film. I mean, it's an $85,000 film coming back to Kapiti. There's going to be, 20 odd people working on this thing day in, day night for months. So we're going to need a lot of time to prep it. And then hopefully we can get it out to everyone who has given money into the Kapiti community to see, whether it's on the big screen or we're sending out links. Hopefully we can do that by end of next year. Once the thing is shot, it should be pretty quick turnaround.
That's so cool. Honestly, I'm so excited for you. And just to know that this is all going to happen in our little Kapiti, and you carrying amazing social and economic responsibility on your shoulders to provide all this jobs and bring the money back into the community. This is great. Like, I'm honestly honored to be part of it. Thank you so much for reaching out originally, because when you first reached out, I was like, oh, what's this about? But it sounded really interesting.
Thank you. I mean, it's an interesting responsibility. It's going to be a lot of actors. I mean, we're shooting at Kapiti College. We're going to use a lot of their students as well, both for help and to be in the film. And it's providing a lot of jobs to a lot of cast and a lot of crew for the 8 days that we're shooting, which, is not a lot of time, but for a film of this scale, it's a decent amount. I mean, 8 straight days of shooting, 12 hours a day. It's a lot of work. And I'm super grateful to people like you help fund the film so we can pay these people accordingly to come out here and do the work that they love and ultimately put Kapiti kind of in the spotlight nationally and internationally.
Yeah, well, I mean, wasn't Peter Jackson from Kapiti College?
Yes, we actually have a really high concentration of filmmakers that come out of Kapiti in particular. We have Peter Jackson, as well as my mentor, James Ashcroft, and then a variety of others. We have Ra Vincent and Simon Bright and a bunch of other really exciting people who are, attached to the project and advising roles and stuff like that. I don't know what it is about Kapiti, but it seems to be some kind of machine. I would say once every 10 or so years, there seems to be some big filmmaker coming out of there. I just hope that I can be the next one.
Yeah, well, if you're in the right cycle, maybe it's you.
Right, hopefully.
I'm really hoping. And it's really exciting for me because obviously I live in Kapiti. I've got young kids, young family, they're growing up. And when we're thinking about which college to send them, now I'm like, okay, we're in the right place. We've got good colleges here.
I know I've always had a sensation that, in particular for me, I'm so proud of Kapiti College, and I still know people that go there today, and I'm obviously very close with a lot of the teachers there and the principal who's greenlit this project for us. And I think it's the best school in the world. I mean, I want to send my kids there one day. So, with every intention of living the rest of my life in Los Angeles, I might have to take, 10 years to bring my kids back to Kapiti College.
That's so good. And probably people that are hearing this from overseas, they're going to go, right, where's Kapiti? Let's buy us a property there. I mean, guys, property already have skyrocketed. So please don't add to it.
Yeah.
let us keep the property prices okay. But this is awesome. So tell us a little bit about, have you done any other films before this one? And if people want to see them, where can they go and find your work?
That's right. So I've got close to 10 years of experience in film. Most of that has been as a student, but like I said, I work here in LA now. Over that time, I've created over 20 short films, 2 feature films, most of which I've sold to various places like Neon and Lightbox, Rialto and stuff like that. Some are available on YouTube or Vimeo for free. So it all depends on the project. I've made some award-winning documentaries, and now I'm focusing on commercials and music videos because that's what kind of pays the bills here in LA and gives me the most amount of time to work on and develop these other bigger films. At this point in my career, I'm really looking to step it up from these short films into making some of these bigger multi-million-dollar features, and making that jump as a director is very, very hard. So it's about finding a film like this one that I want to bring back to Kapiti that has this big budget, but in the world of film, it's actually a very, very small budget.
Yeah.
For me, it's huge. And it's about me being able to prove, okay, what can I do with this amount of money? How can I make this $85,000 film look like it cost $1 million? And if I can do that, I can then go to the next production company and say, here's the script I've been working on for 2 years, and here's this film I made in Kapiti, and here's why I think I can make this script for 3 or 4 million. And that hopefully would be my break into the industry.
What's that sound? Thank
Not
you.
sure what that is.
That was not part of the plan. That's incredible. Honestly, I'm so excited for you. So tell me, what's your 5-year plan? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I love a good 5-year plan, and I've been following plans like that for a while. Right now, I'm engaged in a mentorship with this amazing director, James Ashcroft, who's from Kapiti. He is helping me with this film, as well as a few others on my slate. The 5-year plan includes getting this made and getting it out into the world and having it win big at some international festival. I really want this film to play at, Sundance or Cannes or South by Southwest over here in the US would be great as well. And if that happens, I want to be able to have it bolster my career. And with the scripts that I'm working on at the moment, I want to be able to pitch those forward and make bigger films. And hopefully at the end of the next 5 years, I've got offers coming my way left, right, and center to direct things that I'm excited about. And I would love to just be doing this professionally. I mean, I think it's the best job in the world, and I feel very grateful to be able to do it. Just telling stories and being able to write stories and study film is honestly, it's been life-changing, and I'm glad I took this path.
Yeah, and following your dreams, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome. So the last 2 questions I'm going to ask you is, one is, what wakes you up in the morning?
Well,
what gets you out of bed?
I don't use an alarm, so it's got to be something internal. And I'm an early riser, and I like to do my writing in the morning. I like to wake up. I find it very hard to get into the headspace to write, but my whole career is based on the things I write. And I'm an ideas person. I love, my ideas are very, very unique. The films that I want to make are very unique, and they're not the kind of thing you would, I think most of the stuff you see on Netflix and stuff today are recycled to a degree, and they're the same kind of stories. And my stuff's new and fresh. And so what gets me up in the morning is that hour or two that I get to come in straight from my bedroom into my office and sit down at this desk and write my films. And I'll do that for an hour or two, and I'll shelve it, and I'll go off and do the rest of my day and do my work and do everything else I need to do. And the next morning I'll get up and I'll come in here and write again. And that's what makes me happy, because I chip away at being able to tell these stories and eventually find the money to make them.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Honestly, listening to you, I'm so inspired, because it's not often you find people that are able to follow that dream, to follow their passion, and hopefully make money out of it as well, because dreams don't pay.
I'll tell you, it's very, very hard. I mean, it's all well and good, to follow a dream, but I think we get so many answers, even from people I look up to, who just say, keep going and don't give up and do this. But it's incredibly hard sometimes. While I do have this drive to get out of bed in the morning, some days you just don't. And you wish you could run off to the bloody French countryside or just work a normal job. And it looks glorious, and it does look fun, and it is for the most part, but it's hard work. And right now, at the stage of the career that I'm at, I'm looking for, support from people to be able to get me through that, because I can't do anything with my films unless I find the money to make them. And I can't live 2 lives where I'm out working to get that money and being able to write them. I can't balance that. It's too much for one day. So for me, it's hard, because you get up and you write all these things and you just want to tell them, but you don't know how to, because you can't, afford to. And that's what makes it hard, but it is, still a great life.
That's good. So do you still have family around here in Kapiti?
I do. My dad's in Kapiti, and my mum just moved to Kiri. So my dad's the last one remaining, but I'll be coming back this Christmas for a little bit to see him. And then next July, or I guess next June, I'll be back to do some pre-production on the film and get ready to shoot.
Yeah. And are they supportive of you?
Oh, extremely. I mean, extremely. My dad has given me, so much opportunity that I have to pay back, and that I want to pay back, for him to have allowed me to go through 2 institutions for education, to move countries to support me through the pandemic when the jobs in my industry were few and far between. My mom is incredibly creatively supportive. They always have been, ever since I was 5 years old and I was making films with my Lego and my home camera. They've been incredibly supportive. My brother's a filmmaker, so they've got no problems with it.
That's awesome. And that's what you want as well. I think having that backing behind you, that somebody believes in you and somebody knows that you're actually greater than you think you are.
That's right. Yeah. No, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. That's awesome. So where's your brother? You mentioned your brother is a filmmaker too.
That's right. He's based between Queenstown and Austin. He mostly does commercials and stuff now, but he's chipping away at his film career as well.
Awesome. Is he going to help you out on your project?
He's not. We don't work together, actually. That's a conflict of interest, and we put that aside in order not to argue.
Fair enough. I know I've got a brother that works with me, and yeah, I must say, working with your family or siblings, takes it to the next level.
That's right. When we finish a project, we always share it with each other and we get feedback. And in those last stages, we provide that feedback and critique for each other. But I don't think working together fully would ever work for either of us.
Yeah, because you both have different personalities, you'll have different eyes, you'll have different ideas.
That's right. You find actually with there's some directors who are siblings, brothers and sisters and duos. They're mostly twins, you'll find. And I guess that is just some similarity in the way that their minds work that allows them to work together, but not for us.
Not when you're creative side and you've got someone else with completely different set of skills. Right. That's awesome. So the last question I had for you, I know I've asked a few others in between, but this main question I had for you, I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine you, I don't know, 90 years old at your deathbed, you know, the death is upon you, you look back at your life. What's the highlight of your life?
Ooh. Okay. The first thing that comes to mind is that I like showing people movies and I want to be a father. So the main thing that I want to be a father when I'm young too, because I want to spend the most amount of time with my children. So if I look back and there's one thing that I'm really happy or proud about, it would be, I'm hoping that I can get to a point where I've got enough cool movies to be able to sit down with my kids when they're old enough and say, look, here's what I made. I hope you guys enjoy them or want to continue this legacy or want to, do this kind of work yourself. That's really what I would love to do.
That's awesome. That's like the best answer you could give. You pretty much nailed both of your dreams in one. So you're going to look back and you're going to be proud of the parent you were to your kids, but also at the same time of the movies that you made. This is awesome. I'm going to ask this question now every single time when I interview people.
It's a good question.
It is a good question, isn't it? Because it allows you to dream without any limitations.
Exactly.
It's awesome. Mason, thank you so much for your time. I'm not going to take away any more of your precious time from writing and creating. And I'm really looking forward to supporting your venture. And once you're in Kapiti, give me a bell. Let's catch up. Would love to see you in person as well.
Yes, absolutely. And for anyone who did support the film too, and anyone who wants to, we're going to post about it so people can come down and observe us while we're shooting it and, stand a safe distance away and keep quiet. But the community is welcome to come down and watch how these things are made. I mean, there's not enough stuff being shot in Kapiti, and it would be great, I think, for especially for youngsters to come and see what it's really like.
Yeah, totally. So, sorry, can you please tell people, do you have a Facebook page already? Like, how do we find you?
Yeah, I'm online on the same kind of handle everywhere, Mason Cade Packer. I use my middle name for everything, so I should be easy to find. There's websites, there's Instagrams. If you Google my name, they should all come up.
So Mason Cade Packer?
That's right. And if anyone is interested in contributing to the film, then just reach out to me on Instagram or via email on my website and let me know. We'd love any help we can get.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, if you're listening to this, please make sure you go online, look for Mason Cade Packer and support him in any way you can. That'll be amazing. So thank you so much, Mason. It was so lovely to talk to you. It was very entertaining and enlightening for me, especially. And I'm going to save this video. So in 10 years time, and you're going to become like a Hollywood star, I'm going to approach you for a role. I don't know which role, but we'll see. For any role. Oh dear.
I
That'll
hope
be
so. That'll be exciting. Thank you.
that'll be exciting. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Amazing.